Run, rabbit, run. Play basketball, rabbit. Play basketball. Everybody get up. It's time to sink now. We got a real sink going down. Welcome to the Sink Floyd. It's your chance. Do your dance. It's the Sink Floyd. Welcome to the podcast where we watch every movie ever made to see if it syncs up with Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and joining me is my co-host, Space James Barron.
Hi, Quad City DJs, James Barron. How's it going here? I'm a full member, and I didn't know. I just got my membership card in the mail from the Quad City DJs, and now I'm an official part of them, and I'm ready to slam and jam with you on the courts, Gareth.
That song, Space Jam by Quad City DJs, the eponymous track of the film Space Jam, which we're going to be talking exclusively about for the next, I assume, 6 hours. That song is like an audio version of a cup of cola. It is like, It brings you so much life, but feels so bad for you.
You're right. It is impossible to stay in your seat when that comes on, which is kind of a bad move for the start of a film. It does get you fucking amped, though. I'm going to talk about it when we get to the opening credits a lot, but the Quad City DJs track is insanity for for a fully insane movie.
Right?
That I'm very happy to finally be covering off. This feels like a Hallmark episode of the show.
Yeah, I've heard from Hallmark Cards, and they're going to print the transcript of this episode inside every 6th birthday card. That's how much of a Hallmark episode it is.
Every 6th one? Or on a 6th birthday. You just get a transcript of a broadcast. You're like, what?
Yeah, every card for your 6th birthday, but then they will print every 6th card they print overall will be for that 6th birthday now.
Oh, wow.
That's how popular this episode is.
And 6 is going to be a big one. It's up there with the 21st now. Everyone's talking about, what are you doing for your 6th? Around the crib, they're just all like catching up, and you're like, oh man, that's going to be huge.
MTV's My Super Sweet 6.
Super Sweet 6. Oh, I love it. I'm going to do a yard glass.
Do a yard glass?
Yeah, of milk. Do you remember your 6th birthday out of interest? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I remember mine.
Oh, nice. I do not. I didn't see this film because it came out. I might have seen this film actually. It would have come out. I was 5 when it came out.
Yeah.
So maybe I rewatched it or something. But no, what was your 6th birthday?
Oh, I've got a story about when I first saw Space Jam as well, but we'll circle back to that. My 6th birthday, I recall I was obsessed with computer games, of course, and it was I feel like this was the first birthday I had where friends came, where friends from school came, because I didn't have my birthday's in January, so I didn't have existing school friends. At the start to invite to my birthday. But by the time I turned 6, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I had a bunch of school friends around, and that was cool. My friends to this day, Aaron and Manu were there. Shout outs to you. On my 6th birthday, still friends with them both. So that's cool. I love computer games, and I had a cake that my mum made that was on its side, and the cake was the screen of a computer, and there was a block of chocolate in front of it that was the keyboard, and I think she made a mouse out of icing or something. It was lit. It was a really cool cake. Shout outs to Mama Barron for making amazing cakes to this day. But yeah, good times.
Oh man.
It's a sweet 6.
My 3rd birthday, I slammed my face into my Thomas the Tank Engine cake because I was so excited.
Whoa! You went head to head with Thomas? I love that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Did you want to dive in and eat all the cake like they do in cartoons or something?
Exactly that. It would have been the terrible influence Bugs Bunny himself had on me that I thought I could eat the cake in one go.
Amazing.
And no, I took a good chunk out of Thomas.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I've got to know when you first saw Space Jam.
Okay.
Tease that.
So I didn't see Space Jam in the theaters, but I do have a very vivid memory of watching Space Jam for the first time at a person's house. This person, I think, like, our parents were friends, and I was meeting for them for the first time. And their name was Jed, and
Yeah.
I met them, and I'd never met them since. This was a one-off time, but we watched Space Jam together that he had on VHS. I think he was potentially a bit older than me. And we watched Space Jam, and then we went outside and, like, shot hoops for a little bit. But I'm, like, 6 or 7 at this time, so I cannot shoot hoops. But yeah, like, I thought that it was the coolest thing ever, and I vividly remember him having a lava lamp, which I think was the first time I'd ever seen one of those as well. So I was
This
like,
guy
holy...
sounds like the coolest guy if you're 6 years old.
He was cool as hell. So much so that on the car ride home, I considered renaming myself Jed. Like, I like saw it as a potential nickname because my name starts with J. It's close enough, and I was like, maybe I could be Jed. I think it lasted for like a day after that, like my parents calling me Jed, and then I was like, actually, nah, I'm good. So there you go.
And that's the origin of your hatred of nicknames.
It really is.
Couldn't top Jed.
Yeah, Jed's pretty good. I feel like if someone called me Jed now, I'd have a huge amount of respect because you've made it to like episode 64 of my podcast. But yeah, I'd be like, okay, that one I'll allow. But yeah, usually don't allow any kind of nickname. But yeah, Jed, I'm like, all right, you've done the homework. So there you go. That's my Space Jam origin story. I remember loving it.
Yeah, how could you not?
Yeah, it was sick.
Did you ever go to Warner Brothers Movie World on the Gold Coast of Australia?
I did once, yes. I do. Yeah. I think so. I had all the theme parks.
This movie, I don't know what I saw. I would have seen this before I went there. But, like, the two go hand in hand in that, like, there's a whole lot going on. It's excited. You're probably full of sugar. You're listening to, like, hard, amped up hip-hop music.
Yeah.
You're having a... In Warner Brothers Movie World, which, by the way, I think is just the Australian version of Universal Studios.
Yes.
Because they both had the Shrek 4D experience.
Oh, right.
That is a literal roller coaster, and this film is, of course, a roller coaster of emotion. So, yeah, it's impossible not to enjoy it if you were born the right time, and it's probably impossible to enjoy it if you were born outside of the perfect window for this movie.
That is so true.
Yeah. I will say, though, harder to enjoy without its iconic soundtrack.
So true. There's a lot of like musical cues that I definitely missed. I rewatched this clean, of course, because I wanted to treat myself, and then I watched it with the good old Floyd, and I was like, man, this movie has a soundtrack, and I was missing it in a lot of sequences where I knew exactly what should be playing, but I wasn't hearing it. But yeah, anyway, but that's fine. That's all part of what we do on the show. We've got to see how it matches up. You know, it syncs up with the old Floyd, and that's like it goes part and parcel with it. So
sometimes you do ruin a film by adding its Sync Floyd to it, but that doesn't take nor give to its whether it syncs or not. It syncs as a completely unemotional,
impartial
experience.
Yeah, clinical. This discussion of Space Jam will be no fun allowed. Get excited.
So did you know this film is pretty much an adaptation of an ad?
What? No, I didn't know that. That's great. Explain this ad to me.
Okay, so in 92, Nike aired 2 ads featuring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
Cool.
And they were directed by the man who would go on to direct Space Jam.
Right.
And they were so amped that they were like, guys, we've got to turn this ad into a full movie. And they were all set to do it. And then Jordan, of course, resigned from basketball to become a baseball player.
Yeah.
And they stopped the whole thing. And then, of course, when he... Obviously, what happens in the film actually happened to him. Made him decide to get back to basketball. I hope I don't keep confusing those two very different sports. returned to basketball, and then they were like, a couple months before they started it, they were like, oh shit, we better get the director in. And they only informed him a couple months before they started shooting, which is apparently like way too soon.
Oh my god, that's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful description. In a way, it implies that Space Jam is a documentary, because like the fact that it would go on to actually happen is wild. That like he rejoins the NBA and all that stuff. Amazing.
Spike Lee was interested in helping on the script, but Warner Bros. Blocked him because they weren't happy with how he funded his film Malcolm X. And the reason Wayne Knight obviously is in it, but they wanted to get Chevy Chase or Michael J. Fox simply because they'd seen them in good Doritos commercials.
That's amazing. That's their like accolade, their main. They've never seen a film that they've been in, and they're just like, yeah, that's the guy from the Doritos. We want that. We want to bring that kind of energy to our feature film. Amazing.
It is the Doritos of films. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to probably use those metaphors a lot. I've eaten a lot of junk food the weekend we're recording this.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
It's
junk food and Space Jam.
It's fully accurate. Like, it's fully appropriate that was your watching method. Because, yeah, it is, you're right, it's the junk food of movies. You just feel, like, overly full and, like, weirdly unsatisfied in ways, but too satisfied in other ways after watching this movie, you know? You feel like you've done something wrong, but also you feel great, but also sick.
Yeah. There's definitely, shades of real food. Like, there's shades of Looney Tunes cartoons and actual basketball. But, like, it's all so processed and market researched that, you're only getting the immediate taste of that and then just immediately the sugar crash.
Yeah. It's one long sugar crash that we're going to talk about with the Floyd, Gareth.
Yeah. Let's get into it. So, I don't know, if you're a big Space Jam head, you're getting hyped for the sequel, you've just searched Space Jam on the iTunes app. Yeah. We watched this film on mute with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon playing on loop. We're going to report back how that happened. You're going to love it. You're going to give us 5 stars on iTunes and run outside and change your name to Gareth or James based entirely on how much you loved this. Let's get into it. Speak to Me is the first song on Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, yes, it is. Speak to Me, playing over the heartbeats, all that stuff. We've got the Warner Brothers logo, of course, the big WB winners bracket appearing on screen. And yeah, we get the first shot of the movie is a bloody full moon, Gareth.
Right?
We've won. It's done it.
Immediate 10.
Immediate 10. We got a young Michael Jordan shooting some hoops in the summer of 73. It's like midnight. He's out here practicing, doing his thing. Already amazing at basketball. Just shooting like from the free throw distance, just shooting threes over and over again. I love it. I
actually saw a kid today, that exact age, constantly missing a hoop. Oh. I was like, oh no.
Mate, you got to do that before you become Michael Jordan, you know? Yeah. Like, that you got to miss the hoop many times before you get the hoop. That's the rules. But
not in the Space Jam world. There probably is in his contract that he can't be shown being bad at a sport.
That's kind of, well, no.
Oh, being bad at basketball.
Being bad at basketball specifically. I think that's fine. As an NBA player, I feel like that's within his rights.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's out here. His dad's come out here to like see what he's up to. And he's like, you can keep going until you miss a shot. And he just doesn't. They're out there for days.
Yeah. This is what opens the rift into the cartoon world, is just this endless loop of a basketball going in and out slowly forms a wormhole.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just a time
1,000
loop.
year of young Michael Jordan.
Oh, God. That's a different
Never
movie.
Missing.
He never misses. That's just what it says on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, he's saying all these things that he wants to do when he grows up. He wants to become a pro basketball player go to a good college and join the NBA and all this stuff. And then he's like, and then I'm going to play baseball just like you, Dad. And his dad's like, baseball. Now that's a sport, baby. And yeah. And then he's like, great stuff, my boy. And then you're going to fly, huh? You're going to learn to fly. And then slow-mo as young Michael Jordan like races towards the hoop and goes in for like a dunk. And it's intercut with him playing in the NBA in the future, like flashes. And then we go into the most wild intro sequence to a movie I think I've ever seen, where it's just the words Michael Jordan flash on screen in like myriad ways, and then it's his name on a chain link fence with it like silhouetted with light in the background. Also his name is the way I would describe this. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So his name appears, and then Bugs Bunny's name appears in the exact same fashion, and it's the best thing. It's like they knew, like that combination, that like two-header, the partnership of a lifetime.
Yeah.
The double billing that will sell this movie. Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny. Like, that's all they could have written on the poster and people would have gone.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's incredible. And yeah, I just think it's just one of the hardest flexes in cinema history.
It so is.
I really respect it.
I've got two quick things. Is like, obviously this is when the most amped song ever starts playing in a regular movie. Instead, we're getting the chill tones of Breathe by Pink Floyd. But watching Michael Jordan jump up into the air in slow-mo, slowly, like rapidly age into professional basketball player Michael Jordan, syncs real hard with this Pink Floyd song.
It's real good. It's delicious. Yeah. That is a fantastic succulent sync. That's like the first bite into a cheeseburger that, like, if we're continuing the junk food metaphors, god damn.
Please do.
It's so good. And then we get all of these people involved in making the movie get very similar, like way too over the top text fly-ins for their names, which is great, over just shots of Michael Jordan's illustrious career in basketball, like genuine footage from NBA games and like his college games and newspaper articles flying in about him being amazing. It's really cool. It's great. It's one of my favorite opening sequences, I think.
It's wild. So this film in 2011 came out called Enter the Void, which I haven't seen, but all the graphic design blogs that I read were going nuts for that opening credits because it's just like a big myriad of flashing fonts and stuff. It's just the Space Jam opening credits.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is what the graphic designers should be going crazy
Stole
for.
It from Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, And so the issue that I have with it is that, like, post that slow-mo bit, having the Breathe play over top of it instead of Quad City DJ's Space Jam, I was not as hyped going in.
No.
I was sort of soothed in a weird way. And then we get into On the Run, and Michael Jordan's career just starts to take on a like fairly dark turn, as if like he's slowly being corrupted by corporations or something. And this like movie's actually a bad time. But yeah, it's a weird intro. Definitely, it's strange that I guess because this movie has like a cold open before this opening credits, that it feels weird to be on the run before the movie has started proper. But that's just a free note for the show in general. But yeah, from this like amazing intro, we cut to Michael Jordan. Foolishly, by the way, shortened Michael Jordan's name to just MJ in my notes, and I feel like it's an inevitability that I say Michael Jackson, which is definitely not Michael Jordan. They are separate entities.
At least you're not saying like Michael Tyson or something.
Oh yeah, Michael Tyson. I feel like
you just didn't quite do your loop on your J right.
Oh wow, I like that a lot. It's a tribal J.
Yeah.
For Michael Jackson.
I heard you said you wanted to talk exclusively about Quad City DJ Space Jam.
I do. That's true. I want to do that all the time, and that this song is hype as shit. It's just like, I don't know. It's like a jock jam that just never ends. And it's great. It's talking about like running around, getting hype, shooting hoops. The lyrics.
They clearly had no idea what the movie was about when they wrote it, but
no,
that's fine.
It is fine. As you did in the intro, it's just running various words that rhyme together. Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We've got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. It's great. Wave your hands in the air, good. You're gonna feel fine. It's so good. You can't help but smile listening to that song.
Yeah.
You know? I love it.
That's so true.
It is the song. It is, I feel like, and played much like most songs. If we were doing this podcast, right, and we were instead syncing every movie ever made to Quad City DJ's Space Jam opening titles theme, we would be different people. I feel like we'd either be like worn out husks, or we'd be the most ripped and strong people ever. We'd be like star athletes. Like it would have honed our bodies and our minds into perfect beings, or killed us.
What if between now and the next record, or the next episode that comes out,
oh no,
for a whole week we've got to listen to Quad City DJs once a day, just see what happens.
For a week?
Yeah, once a day for a week. I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
What if it's with every meal?
We're about to... Okay. With every meal? Okay, yeah. Well, sure. Yeah, we're just about to start a new week. We're recording on a Sunday evening, so let's do it. Yeah. That's happening. With every meal. Oh, man. Okay. Yep. You did this to yourself, Gareth. I don't know. You write the checks and I just sign them. That's all. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're much like I really wanted to do this at the end of the last episode, just announce my retirement from the podcast and bait and switch you. But I didn't in the end. I chickened out of that joke because I thought it would be a bit too mean. But yeah, we Michael. Oh God, nearly there. Michael Jordan is announcing his retirement from pro basketball play from the NBA. He is leaving, and he's saying like quite cool things, quite nice things about it. He's saying like, "Oh yeah, my dad got to see my last basketball game. He saw me go out on top." And I'm like, cool. Like it's a nice way to go, but like. I feel like he's talked himself into this coming back to the NBA thing over the course of the movie, and his dad's just like, mate, I'm not going to be around that much longer. We never see his dad for the rest of the movie, but anyway, I just thought that was fun. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm keen to go and try pro baseball. I'm keen to play that. And you're like, okay, cool. Everyone's pretty into it. They're like, oh, that's wild. He's like announcing it at this like big like presidential address dinner kind of thing. It looks like somebody's wedding or something that he's at. I don't know. It's wild. Maybe it's his like a big birthday for him. I don't know when he announced his retirement for real. Maybe they're recreating how it actually happened.
I hope it was at someone's wedding. Yeah, we're so proud of you, Clarice and Jenkins, but honestly, I'm going to resign from basketball.
Clarice
That's why I invited the paparazzi.
Oh my God, I can't think of anyone better suited for one another than Clarice and Jenkins. Right. Congratulations on your big day.
I've had so much improv training. Why could I not think of any names?
No, you thought of the best ones. That's just who they are. That's it.
Yeah. Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs and the Wizard Jenkins, the alias that Howl uses in Howl's Moving Castle. They're getting married, and Michael Jordan's at the wedding announcing his retirement.
Wow. Oh, man. Congrats. Amazing.
Yeah.
From this very serious scene, we zoom up through space past that beautiful old moon. There she is, still full. I think the moon is full for this whole film, which is great.
Well, I mean, they are Loonatunes.
Lunatunes. I bet they've already done that. Like,
yeah, well, that's where the word lunatic comes from, is from the moon, giving you moon madness.
There you go. They're all suffering from moon madness. We even do see the moon down in the Tune world, the Looney Tune world, later on. Which I'm going to get into that later on because that's got some weird minutiae to it. But anyway, so we zoom past that up into space, outer space, and we see Moron Mountain, the world's worst theme park, the space's worst theme park. It's like on like a meteor or something, and there's all kinds of bad CGI rides with little aliens riding around on them. It's big Pizza Planet energy from Toy Story, but like realized into this is like what the what Pizza Planet was basing all its branding off, I think. That's the feeling I get. We get the crash sound right over an alien's like crash, a little ship attached to like a Ferris wheel kind of thing that's being zapped by lasers, because this is just part of how shitty this ride is, I suppose. It gets zapped and then it crashes into the ground and two little alien kids jump out of the crash. So we get a crash over the crash sound. Feeling good.
Yeah, that is good.
Pretty happy. And yeah, the little aliens are complaining about how shit this place is. And then we get the boss of this Pizza Planet, of Moron Mountain, out here. And he is voiced by Danny DeVito. He's got a crazy name that I can't remember. It's like Swarabik or something, Swashbik. I can't remember.
Squawkhammer?
Squawkhammer.
Oh,
that sounds right.
something like this.
Something on that level.
He's voiced by Daniel J. DeVito. So what else do you need?
We can't hear that beautiful songstress, that wonderful man crooning his tones. But he looks like an alien version of Danny DeVito, which is great. Like, he's a little troll man, much like the Danny we love, out here in space. And he's got these little alien peons, and he's trying to he's like, I need to spice up my theme park because everyone's complaining that it's rubbish, and our torture devices aren't convincing the kids to have fun. So what can I do? And then he leans on a remote control and turns on his myriad Spy Master style stacked televisions that all crime bosses have. I guess it makes sense in the context of a theme park. Maybe he's got all the security cams in here.
Yeah.
But still weird. And they all switch to Looney Tunes playing in the background. Classic cartoons. We can see a lot of actual references to some of the greats of Looney Tunes in there, which I'm pretty happy with. Like some of their best cartoons and stuff. Like when Bugs is doing the massage on that person's bald head. We're jumping up on it.
That's a good one.
That's one of my favorites. Just seeing
that's
that.
The Barber one, right? I think it's an opera.
Yeah. A lot of them were over. That's where Looney Tunes came from as well. The Looney part you've covered, the tune part I'll cover. They were mostly just using old symphonic recordings and operas and things, and just using that as a soundtrack to zany activities and restructuring those tunes, as it were, into a new comedic context. And that's really cool. And people bloody loved it. That's where Looney Tunes come off. That's where that's what happens. That's how they came to be.
Were you a big Looney Tunes fan as a child?
Honestly, not really. I didn't really have access to many Looney Tunes. I'd seen some, obviously, through osmosis, even at that young age. I knew who Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and people like that were. I probably wouldn't be able to clock ones like Elmer Fudd, like more of niche ones, like the grandma from Sylvester and Tweety Bird and stuff like that. I wouldn't really know what's going on there. And most of the human ones I don't care for. As young.
I was quite bummed out by how much Elmer Fudd is in this movie. When I just don't care for Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, they got to show the Fudd love. I wonder if he'll be back in a big way in the next adventure. It's just a lot of fun.
I feel like he will.
Yeah. Oh. Just he's got a whole arc where he like shoots someone and regrets it. That's his whole deal, is that he's like a hunter, right? He's just got a big gun and he's an antagonist to both Daffy and Bugs when they aren't being antagonistic to each other. Like,
depending on the season, he's gonna hunt one of them.
Yeah, definitely. That's like his whole role. Man, okay. I feel like he doesn't deserve top billing in the same kind of way that he gets in this film, but anyway.
Just going back, and I'm sorry, we've got to go back to Quad City DJ's land and remember our blood oath.
Please.
But did you notice that only Bugs Bunny gets mentioned in the opening credits? Like star?
That annoyed me, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like more of the key characters should be featured in that intro. Just like even like in the flashes between showing up of other names, they could have done that, but instead it's just like the name flashing like 4 times or whatever of the director. And I feel like they could have put like Tweety, Sylvester, like all that like flashing in as like other main characters. That'd be cool. But no, they didn't do that. They were just ride or die with Bugs Bunny as holding it down with his strong brand. I do kind of like. I think Bugs Bunny is like a really interesting character, and like I feel like he can pull down that top billing because he's like irreverent but not like arrogant in an interesting way. You know, he's got like he's not like straight-laced like Mickey Mouse, who I would say is like very boring and the equivalent. Yeah. Who's like too nice, really. He's like too tame. He represents like the Disney aesthetic, whereas Warner Brothers is a bit more loose, a little bit more like can joke around. That like Bugs can hang, you know, like I feel like he like you'd tell a joke on him and then he'd tell a better joke about you, you know? Yeah, he'd like laugh and he'd let everyone laugh at him. Yeah. And then he'd just cut you down with a way better joke and you'd laugh too. You'd be like, damn, he got me. You know? Yeah. That's his deal.
Oh. Bugs can hang.
Bugs can hang. That's what we've found out so far. Where were we? What's going on?
And honestly, Danny DeVito's character also thinks Bugs can hang because he's like, we got to get these guys for my theme park.
These guys are zany enough for my zany place, and we need to get them. Go get them. Make them come. Yeah. And so he's like he sends his peons off to do that. We fly all the way.
I forgot to mention the amazing sync is that the clocks come in when we see the Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah, that's hell yeah. Like we get a crash sound, and then as soon as as he clocks the Looney Tunes, we get the clocks. It's a clock for clock equivalent. I'm very happy about it. And like after that we fly all the way back down to Earth, and Michael Jordan is playing baseball for the first time here. He's at bat, and striking out, being terrible at baseball because I guess he's just like not really practiced this at all. It's like, he's just I don't know why he's like so shit at baseball in the movie. Like, you would think he'd be okay. He's a big guy, I guess, which might be difficult for a baseballer, but I don't know. They really don't hold back at him being, like, terrible at this. Even when... So, the guy that catches Mitt at the plate there, he's, like, trying to, like, help him. He's cheating. He's on the other side of the team and telling him what pitch is coming. They've, like... The other team want him to do well as well, and so they're like trying to help him by telling him that the exact play that's coming, like the exact pitch, and it's like it sucks because it sort of defrauds the like whole the whole game. Really, no one's like Michael feels cheated because everyone's going real easy on him, and like and he still sucks, even though like all this is happening. It's rough. And then he goes,
Yeah, I do wonder if this everyone being so nice to him and saying like, "Oh, you're
All the
great,"
yes
even though
men.
he's not. I wonder if that's how this was for him on set as well.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it is, that's like quite self-aware of the movie to be doing that. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. But yeah, like he goes back to the dugout and everyone's like, "Oh, you look great out there, Michael. This is the best strikeout I've ever seen." It's like, oh my god, chill out, guys. But yeah, this is where Wayne Knight makes his appearance. He literally falls into frame, which I very much enjoy. Wayne Knight's such a good physical presence in a movie. Love him in this. Love him in Jurassic
Yeah.
Park. Plays basically the same character.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, he's just a good guy. Thoughts on Wayne Knight?
Right? Oh, always happy to see him.
Yeah.
Like, I do the opposite of what Jerry Seinfeld's character in Seinfeld does.
Oh, yeah.
I make a happy noise.
You don't say Newman
No, I don't
under
hiss
your breath.
Newman at him.
Yeah, no. I feel like he must get that a lot, and that must be very discouraging.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
Poor guy.
No, he's one of my happy little voices.
He is. He's a nice wee boy, Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
And I like him. I like his big glasses, his big 90s glasses. He's one of the few people that I think could still rock those to this day. You know.
Yeah, I think he still does, as of his Wikipedia photo from
Nice.
2013.
Hell yeah. From 2013. Okay. I love that. They're just hanging out at the game and yeah, he's introducing himself. And when a fucking spaceship flies by and everyone's like, whoa, what? It's not reported on in any major way. I feel like there was potentially a cut scene where this was like a news report where like people talk about seeing a UFO. But the spaceship flies overhead and then dives straight down to the earth, burrows through the earth, where we see an encroaching Warner Brothers logo like the opening for Looney Tunes. They burst through this like going through the top of a drum, I guess, and into the tune world, which resides within the earth. Gareth, in the context of Space Jam, why is this?
They're in not so much hell, but in the Greek like Hades
Yeah.
of hell, there was a hell that was like also heaven, but it was under the earth. This is
okay.
where the Looney Tunes live.
They're in the first layer of hell.
Yeah, I believe it was called like Elysium or something.
Elysium was for like the forgotten and like, well, not for the forgotten, for the like respected warriors and nobles of of Greek culture. So like that's for like the heroes.
I think that was it. Yeah, because that was the good one, and then they
Yeah.
had the like grey one where you just hung out if you were neutral and just walked around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, this movie is saying, as I'm sure everyone knows, that
Yeah.
the Looney Tunes are the great heroes of the past who died.
So true. There we
Yeah.
go. Oh man, I really like that take that this is like they're all
Yeah.
like spirits of the afterlife. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm very happy to have discovered this.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So they're flying around and in their spaceship down here in the Toon World, and Bugs is being chased by Elmer Fudd. His first appearance here, and like they're doing a live action version of the Looney Tune cartoons. Obviously, right? That's how it is. It's just like a documentary that's being filmed constantly and then broadcast on international television.
Live, apparently.
Yeah, which is fantastic. We'll get to that. But yeah, they drop the little gangplank down right on top of Elmer Fudd's head, and it couldn't have happened to a better guy. And yeah, Bugs like toys with these aliens for a little bit, because they're looking for him, and he's just like tricks them into thinking that it's not him. But they figure it out and they blast him with some laser guns. which I'm very happy about. And then, yeah, tell him to go and gather the other tunes. Back in Earth, Wayne Knight drives Michael home. His name in the movie is Stan Podolak. I think I'm saying that right. Which is it's very Wayne Knight character name. So I'm happy about that. He could have just been Wayne Knight and I would have bought it. There are other people, like, there are a lot of characters in this movie that are just playing themselves. You know, if he was just like Wayne Knight, it's just like, I need some money on the side or something.
I'm just trying to hang out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hang with you, Michael Jordan. Come on. But yeah, Michael Jordan, he comes home and we meet his family and stuff. He's got an overly affectionate bulldog named Charles. Don't know if this is true to life, but I do like this presence here. He's got three kids, and a lovely wife, and someone else who is helping out here. I don't know who this is. Maybe his mum. An extra wife, a spare. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird detail that he invented for Michael Jordan.
Yeah. But yeah, they're all hanging out and talking about, like, the kids have come from a baseball game of their own. And I really like that the kid gives him tips for his... because he, like, is watching a news report about... Michael Jordan's first baseball game where they get like saying that he's terrible and he's got the worst like ratio of any player ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, this kid is giving him advice of like how to play baseball, which I really like. I think that's a cool character moment. And they're like, you shouldn't be watching the news, man. It'll rot your brain. And so he changes the channel to Looney Tunes and he's like, there. Roadrunner, much better, which is lovely. Yeah, so they're watching Roadrunner, and then Porky Pig comes into frame, and he's like, "Whoa, stop the cartoon! We've got a meeting that we've got to go to." And then so the Roadrunner runs off to that. Porky Pig runs off, and then the Coyote drops this like anvil so that he can go, and he gets launched into the air because, of course, he does. Roadrunner Coyote is like a classic Looney Tune that I feel like it's just like one joke told so many different ways.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's a really important and good presence. Like it feels like Laurel and Hardy like baseline humor stuff, you know? Like the basic language of humor, and that's it.
Yeah, they say like the first joke you learn as a person is the where's the baby, cover your face, there he is. Yeah. And then the second joke you learn is Roadrunner and Coyote.
Yeah. I reckon that's pretty on the money, really. It's like that like classic cause and effect kind of joke, you know? Or like, and then subversions of that, like when he like runs through a painting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
These were my favourite Looney Tunes growing up, was the Roadrunner and the Coyote. I tried so hard to get plush toys of them both. I think I got a plush toy of the Coyote, and it's only because I remember his nose was very solid. He had a very solid nose. And he couldn't like stand on his own accord because the nose was too heavy.
Man, I don't think I had... That's amazing, by the way. He just falls over. I had an incredibly old Bugs Bunny toy which had like... his he was like he wasn't plush or whatever, he was more like a rag doll kind of thing, but he had a like plastic face. The rest of him was like made out of like felt or whatever, but his face was plastic to get like the details on him, which was a weird thing. Anyway,
I had one of these as well. My aunt's boyfriend got them for us as a way to win us over, and then I've recently found out that they broke up. I've recently found out that aunt's boyfriend did not care for us.
Oh, no.
He did not like my brother and I.
Oh.
Which I just think is so funny because he got us these weird toys.
That is great. Oh, no. Well, wherever you may be, I hope you're still
he's listening and he's just realised who I am.
That'd be great.
My favourite band, Pink Floyd, and my favourite movie, Space Jam.
Finally.
Hit play. Oh no, it's that kid.
That damn kid. He burns his own iPhone. Amazing. The other piece of merch that I remember was from this movie that I got, and it was
Ooh.
you know how they did like tie-ins at like Burger King and all these different places. So I got like an enormous plastic mug with Daffy
Mm.
Duck's face like carved into it, or like not even that, like extruded out of this like hunk
Yeah.
of plastic. And it was the worst thing. Trying to drink out of Daffy's face is like he's got a big old bill that gets in the way.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm like, I'm a little kid. I want to be like drinking and having like Daffy look at me while I have it, because otherwise, what's the point of having a Daffy Duck cup? But he's like poking me with this bill, and it's just not a good time,
No.
man. It was not a
Um,
well designed mug, but I remember having
I
it.
had one that solved that problem. My Daffy Duck mug, he was holding a stick of dynamite that had just blown up, so his bill had spun around his face and was facing
Oh,
the other way. So you could look into his eyes, there'd just be no mouth because the mouth is over by your hand holding the cup.
that's
So you don't
amazing.
get a huge amount of room to hold the handle. But yeah, you get to look at Daffy's eyes during this moment of sadness for him.
That's great. What a
Yeah.
fantastically specific mug. I love it.
That was good. I saw one of them last year and like was considering buying it, but they go for super expensive now.
Yeah. That's a cool thing about his design, is that he's like completely like jet black, and so they get to like
Hmm.
play around with like his facial features like floating around in that space. It's just like cool like
Yeah.
animation thing that they get to do with that character, you know.
Oh heck yeah. Daffy Duck, Duck Amuck, starring Daffy Duck, is the best Looney Tunes cartoon. It's the
Yeah.
one where the illustrator is like pranking him and he gets like
Yeah.
erased and redrawn. It is perfect art.
That one's
And
the
yeah,
best. Yeah. That's
yeah,
that's another all-time classic for sure.
yeah,
Definitely. Check that one out after the show.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a union meeting for all
Hmm.
the Looney Tunes, because of course they're all under the Warner Brothers banner, so they're part of a union, which I really enjoy. Basically, Bugs is all tied up in chains and things, and he's like, these little guys, they want to capture us," and everyone laughs, but they pull out their guns and shoot at who is this guy? The like I can't remember his name. He's got like the big mustache, um, and he like shoots his guns in the air. That guy. He's the same guy.
Yosemite Sam.
That's it. Yosemite Sam. He's like the exact
Yeah.
same as that Simpsons character. Um, I
The
can't.
Rich Texan, yeah.
Yeah, like they both do the same thing. They both serve the same function in a really weird way.
Yeah.
But
Yosemite
yeah,
Sam's a weird one because he is pretty much the same kind of purpose of Elmer Fudd. He's just angrier.
basically, yeah. Violent man with gun is just a
Hmm.
weird archetype for a cartoon. But anyway, we're gonna move past it.
They've taken the guns away from the two of them for a
Oh,
big
really?
stretch, but they're bringing them back for the new one.
Okay, good. Does Elmer Fudd have like a big net or something?
Oh, I'd imagine so. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, well that's good then.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so they use the dumbness of these aliens to trick them again. And he writes in a little book that's how to draw cartoon characters, crosses that out, how to capture cartoon characters. And yeah, he's saying like, you've got to give us a chance. It says so in the rule book, and then they believe it, of course, because that's how cartoon logic works. And
Yeah.
yeah, they basically open to suggestions about how to get out of it, and they're like looking around, thinking about the different properties of these aliens. That they're small and they can't jump very high. They got little feet, little arms, um, and so they challenge them to a basketball game. Because of course,
Hmm.
you challenge the tiny little alien to basketball. Yeah. And so they're like, "What's basketball?" And so they watch like this fake intro to basketball thing, documentary for like school children in black and white, I
Hmm.
guess. I don't think like maybe this was a reference beyond me, because I never watched any of these like it's like a show reel, I don't know, like an old movie theater, an old like movie camera show a projector, sorry, projecting like a black and white film onto like a wall. This is like a classroom thing that they do in America that I never experienced. So I don't know. It's a weird one. But yeah, so they show this and they're like, oh, the National Basketball Association, the NBA. Well, and then so they go to find the best basketball players of the world and steal their power. We go to New York City. We see Charles Barkley being amazing, strutting his funky stuff on the basketball court. Gareth. And yeah, they steal his power. And one of the aliens turns into like weird CGI pink goo, flies across the floor and up into Charles Barkley's nose, stealing his basketball powers, flying out of his nose, presumably invisible while doing this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stealing all his talent, and he just leaves him here, like, standing there, holding his arms out, and just sort of, like... I love him pretending to be bad at basketball. He really owns in on it. It's great. Just holding his arms...
Charles Barkley is great in this.
He is
He's like...
fully down to clown in this movie in such a good way. He's got some really good lines coming up. Yeah. Oh, I love him. And yeah, they proceed to do this with 4 other basketball players. And yeah, it's like they've fallen ill. I love that in the context of this movie that this is reported on as like huge news. They think there's some kind of like virus going around. Well, I'm going to cover it all off here because it's pretty wild. Like later on in the movie, they shut down the like various stadiums. People don't want to go in. And they like cancel NBA. Like, the season stops, which is like, watching this in times of COVID is so different. Like, it's wild.
That was the day we realized COVID was going to be a big deal, was the day they shut down the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, that was what clicked for everyone. It was that and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, man. That's the real thing. You're like, oh shit, basketball has stopped. Like, this is serious.
The only time this happened last time was during the Space Jam.
It was during Space Jam. We better take this as seriously as we take Space Jam, guys.
Yeah, and that's what got the sequel happening.
Yeah, clearly. Man, post-COVID, that's what sport... They're like, now's the time. People are ready. They've just cancelled basketball for another reason. We're ready to go. Like, oh my God, ridiculous. But yeah, I really like the shots of the Lakers like pretending, like refusing to go on court. Like they're just like all dressed in suits and stuff, and they're like, "No, we're not going in there." There's a player that says bacteria like that can travel faster than the speed of light, which is just such a wild thing to say. It's so insane. I love it. Yeah. So we get all that, and then the tunes, the Looney Tunes, practicing some basketball out at the court, where the aliens show up with their new magical basketball, filled with the talent of 5 NBA players, and they like draw it out of the basketball and grow into these huge monstrosities, these monstars. Gareth, the monstars are born. And quite a cool transformation sequence. There's like a big like blood moon in the background. It's great. Yeah. It's well designed, and that like, you see like the different properties of different like the different basketballers that they sucked the powers out of, I guess. But also like they turn into like quite distinct looking monsters. It's cool.
The design of the monsters is so cool.
Reminds me a lot of gargoyles.
Yes. That's probably it. It's probably the same like team in some way.
Yeah. I would say so, right? I feel like there has to be a similar involvement. Who made Gargoyles? I don't even know. It must have been Warner Brothers, right?
I feel like I remember that old Warner Bros. Cartoon logo before Gargoyles would start.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's no way to find out.
No.
But yeah, they're born over us and them, the Monstars. They transform, which is like, it's a strange, another quite soothing song for an intense transformation. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. we cut up to the real world again. Michael Jordan is playing golf with Bill Murray and Larry Bird in the most insane like group ever. I hope these guys are friends in real life. Possibly because of this movie, but it's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, they must have been on set at this golf course for forever because this scene is so long and so only for people who like golf.
Yeah, it really is. It's like an extended sequence of them like taking shots at golf and having like kind of inane conversation. Bill Murray really wants to have a shot at the NBA because NBA players are being struck down with a sickness.
Yeah. This is a reference to an ad as well.
Really? Okay, explain.
Yeah. There was a 90s ad of Bill Murray about him wanting to be in the NBA, and they were just like, cool, that's a plot point in our movie.
Man, they just got everything from the ads.
Yeah.
That's great. I like to think now that there's this ad cinematic universe where all ads take place and they all have a shared story and history together. And that's the era that Space Jam fits in. You know?
Yeah.
That's the world that's from. Where the Looney Tunes also exist in a layer of hell. It's another part of it.
That's beautiful. And like George Clooney resides over them all as like a king who loves his Nespressos.
Yeah. The Nespresso
Burger
King,
I guess, resides over a different realm.
Yeah. He's in another layer of hell.
Yeah.
Just sneaking up on people. The worst. Yeah, so they are playing golf and he does a beautiful golf hit. I know nothing about golf. I've played golf like once in my whole life, like proper golf. I've played mini golf a lot of times, but I don't.
Mini golf's the best.
I know like nothing about sports in general. I know less than nothing about golf. So, yeah, I did on the 7th hole of my one game of golf that I played, I like fluked into this beautiful shot that landed perfectly on the green, and I just looked at all my friends that I was playing with, like, yeah, that's right. I've actually been hustling this whole time, but it was a massive fluke. I think my ball was caught by the wind, like much like the ball is manipulated by a magnet underground by a little Bugs Bunny. Maybe that happened to me.
Yeah.
They were just trying to capture me. Could happen. I don't know. They needed me for something down in hell.
Yeah, what would the Looney Tunes summon you to hell for? What do you need?
Just setting up podcast equipment. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that skilled in that many areas. They've forgotten.
The Looney Tunes suck you down and they're like, oh, we thought it was Jed.
Oh no! Oh, that's tragic. We need him for a lava lamp related emergency.
Yeah.
Oh, off you go. You're not Jed. That's tragic. I'm gonna have that as a nightmare tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Bugs pulls the golf ball into a hole with the magnet because, of course, this is how cartoon logic works. Magnets just control things, not just metal. They have the power to push and pull anything in cartoon world. And yeah, the ball is pulled into the hole. It's a hole in one. Michael was stoked with this. And he goes in to reach for the ball as Wayne Knight takes a photo of him and is lassoed and pulled into the Toon world. Yeah, here he is. He's pulled into the Looney Tunes world. Takes it quite well.
Oh, yeah.
Being in a cartoon world, the first layer of hell. And first thing Bugs Bunny does to him is just give him a big old kiss on the lips as well. Which is a strong opener.
Heck yeah. To prove he's real.
Yeah, that's how I prove I'm real. Just big old kiss on the lips. Square on the lips. That's how you know. You're certain I'm real after I do that.
Yeah. Because I forgot about Lola Bunny in this. So I was like...
Oh, what?
This is awesome. This is an awesome thing that Bugs Bunny just, you know...
He does a lot of kissing.
Makes a move on
MJ.
And then, Lola Bunny kind of comes in and we're like, oh, no,
No, he just
Bugsby basic.
he Bugsby basic, but he do be kissing a lot. He's got this.
Oh yeah.
He's free with love in this movie.
He's catching glandular fever all the time.
All the time. That's off
He's
camera.
so tired when he's not on camera.
Yeah, he's just so run down. Oh no. But yeah, not all the Looney Tunes know who Michael Jordan is, which I think is wonderful. They've like watched him on TV or whatever when they aren't recording a Looney Tune. They're just catching up on the NBA. And yeah, Bugs explains the situation to him with the Monstars and all this. He's like, we've got to play these aliens in basketball or we'll become slaves. It's like, all right. Which is just, that's so wild that's the crux of this movie. That's the stakes.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Also,
and
considering they're gonna become like slaves at an amusement park.
Yeah.
But then if you go to Warner Bros. Movie World, the Looney Tunes are just walking around there.
Yeah. It's kind of the case, right? In real life.
Yeah.
Like, they are the theme park slaves. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Ruthless.
Oh.
At least they've got a union there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the important bit. But yeah, so there's a great line here where MJ says, I'm a baseball player now, and Bugs says, yeah, right, and I'm a Shakespearean actor, which is just good. It's good dialogue.
Yeah.
Happy with
Pulls
that.
out a little skull.
Yeah, like a skull of a bunny, what's more. Love that. And yeah, we like weirdly cut back to the like golf game, which is ongoing, and Bill is still trying to hustle and get into an NBA game. It's so weird. I don't know why, but the important point is that the producer guy or whatever it is, his handler, Wayne Knight, is just still there and will remain here until he solves the mystery. He's gonna hang out in this golf course for like a couple days.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Very much getting a Jurassic Park vibe from him, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's just like, he's in his own lane, Wayne. And we love him for it.
Yeah.
Happy to have him. Yeah, so I don't know why the Looney Tunes basketball court is all messed up, but it is. And they clean it up with a spit shine, which is a thing, apparently. They like spit on the ground and it cleans it up with magical power. It feels like mostly Taz is doing the cleaning because he can do things very quickly with his magical spinning power that he has. Yeah. Don't know how much of Taz's DNA is cribbed into Crash Bandicoot, but it feels like a non-zero amount.
Whoa.
You know?
Whoa, that's so true. And there's got to be people who think all Australian animals just spin around.
Yeah, they spin around like tops. It's an Australian thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go to Tasmania expecting to see these things just spinning around causing mayhem. But they're just like little violent dogs.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Tasmania.
And bandicoots are like the least violent animal. They're just like little rabbits with long noses.
Yeah, they look nothing like sassy old Crash with his blue jeans, that's for sure.
It's blue jeans and wallet chain.
Yeah.
I do love this idea of you go to the outback and you're just seeing koalas and emu and cassowaries and like bandicoots, just tiny little tornadoes.
That'd be great. Spin it up. That's why it's so dangerous there.
Yeah, that's where Beyblades come from, the outback.
That's where Beyblades come from. They're wrangled in from the outback and trained to only respond to one letting it rip. Oh my god. There's so many connected franchises here in this episode. I'm loving it.
Yeah, and the advertising cinematic universe.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah, so the Monstars show up and they call MJ a chicken. He shares a lot of DNA with Michael J. Fox in this way, and that you can never call him chicken.
Yeah, Michael Jordan Fox.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, so he's like, all right, well, I'm in. I'm playing ball. And they fold him up into a weird, like, CGI ball and then dunk his ass. which is amazing. But the CGI in this movie looks awful. It's so bad. This Michael Jordan basketball like construction is horrible to look at. Yeah.
Although I will say the mix of 2D and 3D and like real life is actually really nice and tastefully done.
Yeah,
like the shadows have been, they've done it super well.
They figured that part out, right? There's like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit like level of detail going on in the real world stuff, which is very impressive to see. But yeah, they just fucked it up when it came to the CGI. I guess because it's like fledgling at this stage, like, and not a lot of people have used it. But it's still real bad, guys. Just interesting. The only part of this movie that doesn't hold up.
Yeah, it's the only part. Interestingly, the producer Ivan Reitman, who a lot of people assume actually directed it, but we'll leave that to the tinfoil hats. He called up Robert Zemeckis, who just made Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and was like, "Hey, bro, you got any advice on how to do this? Mix live action with real life?" And Zemeckis was just like, "Don't do it. It almost killed me."
I mean, like that makes a lot of sense. It is very impressive though. Like, they do a good job, but we'll get there. There's a fantastic part now where we cut to Charles Barkley like just walking around like feeling sad because he can't play basketball. He goes and watches these kids playing basketball and he's like, "Hey, can I play?" And they're like, "Yeah, cool, we'll play with Charles Barkley." And then he plays and he's rubbish and they're like, "You're not Charles Barkley, you're just a wannabe who looks like him." And there's a kid just yelling, "Begone!" at it, which is so good.
The only way to banish the Barkley.
I love banish Barkley. Yeah, it's my favorite. I just love a kid that yells "Begone." It's just so serious. Begone! Be rid of you! I do not want to see you. So good. And we get like a montage of all the basketballers like getting tests done on them at the hospital and like having shrinks talk to them and all this stuff. There's a line from one of them that says, "I've been MRI'd, EKG'd, X-rayed, laser beamed." And you're like, okay, laser beamed.
This is one of the most baffling scenes. Like,
it's wild.
The music is a song called Basketball Jones.
Whoa.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Which is just like, I couldn't tell you what Basketball Jones is about, and I listened to it by itself while I was doing the dishes tonight. Nice. Basketball Jones, I believe, was written by Cheech and Chong.
Whoa.
The comedians.
What? Okay.
And the soundtrack, it's performed by Chris Rock and Barry White.
Whoa. Okay.
Who are both just telling like separate stories about having a Basketball Jones.
Wow.
Which might be a desire to play basketball. It might be that you're horny for a basketball. At one point, he talks about how he showered with a basketball.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. It ends with like maybe 3 minutes of all the people who were in the house, according to Chris Rock.
Wow.
Which at least more than just Bugs Bunny gets mentioned. But yeah, it is
that's incredible.
So confusing, and it's in a kids' movie, and it mostly is for extended jokes about erectile dysfunction.
Far out. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's one of the most bizarre scenes in the movie, I would say. Like this, and when they see the psychic later on, it's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll cover that now because it's the same thing. They visit a psychic and she like explains exactly what's happening to them, but of course it's so insane, the concept of this movie, that they're like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna go get other tests done. Oh my god, it's so wild. There is a bit in here that I want to cover off though, because there's one of the players says, I don't know what's going on, but it must be something to do with the moon and its alignment to the planet, Gareth. Which, you know, like, this is the person in the movie that listens to Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
I found them. Here they
They
are.
can hear the Pink Floyd as it plays.
Yeah. It's coming in hot. The Floyd boys. He listened to the whole album with his favorite movie to see if it would bring back his basketball skills. But unfortunately not.
Ooh. Do you don't think we're going to get basketball skills once we finish this podcast?
Mate, I didn't have them to begin with. I don't know if it's like... if it will imbue me with talent I don't have. I think I need a magic basketball for that.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Yeah, the Looney Tunes are practicing at their court, and they're too zany to focus. And this is where we get Lola Bunny's first entrance here. She's just a cool female bunny who plays basketball, introduced into this movie. That's just her deal, really. She's knows her stuff. She's like talented and cool, but she just sort of exists as a sex object in the movie, which is rough. That's a bad time. She delivers the line, "Don't ever call me doll," twice in the movie with the exact same cadence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Lola Bunny is this shadow kind of thing that's hanging over Space Jam in a weird way, where she's like a sexual, powerful character in a kids movie that in the sequel has been desexualized as well. She's like,
oh, really?
They changed her design to just be more like aligned, I guess, with Bugs. She's not like this hot thing that Bugs is in love with, you know. She's not
probably good.
I don't know if it's good.
I don't know. Yeah, actually, it's one of those things that sounds good, but then as soon as I said that's good, it felt like it's not good.
It's really weird. It's super weird that they have one movie where she's like really sexual and one movie where she's not at all. Like, I don't know. I feel like you have to commit. Like, if you're remaking Space Jam, you have to have sexy Lola Bunny in it. That's just a rule, you know?
I've got it. You know how they're going to make up for it?
Okay.
Granny is going to be real sexy in this one.
Whoa, okay. All right. All right, there you go. Well, I look forward to that.
Or the witch, who was like their cheerleader in this one.
Yeah, the witch.
Yeah.
I don't recall many Looney Tunes with a witch, but I do like her here. I do like that
she was
here.
great. She was in my Space Jam Look and Find, which was like Where's Wally, but scenes from Space Jam. Because as you're realizing, we had all the merch.
Yeah.
She was always the hard one to find, but I was happy to see her just up to her witchy ways in the middle of a busy golf course or whatever.
Sweet. I love that. Oh my god. I love that you had like really niche Space Jam merch. That's just wonderful. Or just like Warner Brothers merch, I guess, in general. Looney Tunes merch.
I also had... It was like Warner Bros. Trying to do a different Space Jam. I had a shirt that was Scooby-Doo playing basketball and wearing Nikes.
Whoa.
And it said just Scooby-Doo it. And it was honestly the coolest shirt that's ever existed.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And I'm fuming I don't still have it because it now goes for like hundreds of dollars on eBay.
Whoa! That's wild. Yeah. I love that. Oh my god. If you gotta find it. It's out there somewhere. You can Scooby-Doo it. I'm sure you can find it.
Thank you. Hey, you can Scooby-Doo it too.
Oh, sweet. Hey. Yeah, so I guess we covered Lola Bunny. She's here, she's hot, and then she leaves. It's all right. She'll be back. And then, the Bugs and Daffy have to do like a heist in the middle of this movie where they go into the real world to get Michael Jordan's gear so that he can play basketball with them. And they go off to do that as Eclipse starts for us. There's like, I think this is the whole reason that Michael Jordan has a dog in the film and that this dog is an antagonist to the cartoon characters. They want to use that. Charles the dog is like chasing them around the house, etc. But seeing them in the 3D land, they do a pretty decent job. good lighting.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like when Bugs is like opening the doors to other rooms and like light is covering him in different ways and stuff, that's like it's like really difficult to do that right, and it looks good. But yeah, the kids wake up and like sneak around the house like it's Santa Claus on Christmas that they're trying to find, but it's the Looney Tunes, and they help them out. Weirdly, Michael Jordan keeps his shoes in two separate places. Is another thing I want to point out here.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. He's got like one up on a high shelf and one like on a like chest of drawers next to the couch or something. I don't know. It's very weird. That's not how I keep my shoes.
No.
But hey,
I guess he's very tall. Maybe he's reaching them both at once.
yeah, it could be. It could be like also like a pre-game superstition thing where he has to have his shoes separate, otherwise they'll fail him and he won't be able to ball no more.
They can only be together while he's playing.
Yeah, that's the fact.
Otherwise
They're too
neither the
powerful
twain shall meet.
in proximity to one another that they could open a portal to hell. But yeah, so they go and get his shoes, and the kids help out by getting his shorts out of the dog's mouth, who's like weirdly huge in one of the shots of him, but that's fine. I'm going to move past it. And yeah, Bugs explains again the like plot of Space Jam here in one line, and it's just so good. He just says the Looney Tunes are having a big basketball game coming up, and your dad's gonna play, but don't tell anybody about it. And it's like, what the fuck? Oh, it's great. It's just great having that in the movie. It's an insane sentence.
I think it is interesting because I think as a kid there was nothing insane about this. It was just like, oh yeah, the Looney Tunes would need their best basketball player if they were going to do this.
That's how it goes.
It's not going to,
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we'd like launch into the second playthrough basically, and Stan is still digging up the old golf course trying to find Michael. Like he's digging his way down, which is great. And he spots Bugs and Daffy, who are returning to the heist, from their heist, back to the Tune World. And I guess he like follows them here in this instance. Do we see him do this? I don't remember. We don't.
Just follows.
He just appears later on. But anyway, Michael is fully in his uniform and ready to practice, shoot some hoops. And we just watch him shoot hoops and play basketball, practice, in slow-mo, again, over breathe. Happy. We get a double slow-mo breathe Michael.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good. I do want to watch, like, maybe I'll, after this, watch some, like, a super cut of best slam dunks and listen to Pink Floyd. Like,
it's a good time. It's a good fit.
I feel like this movie just turns if you're doing the sync, any room you're in just turns into a man cave.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's fully true. I've suddenly like just am surrounded by empty beers, and I don't know how that's happened.
I've got a Big Mouth Billy Bass on the wall now. Where did he come from?
Yeah, and he's just singing "Breathe." Have I told my Big Mouth Billy Bass story on the pod before?
I don't think so.
It's a very short story, but I'm going to cover it off. My wasn't my aunt? I don't know. A family relation had a Big Mouth Billy Bass in their house, and it was a very old house, and they had it for a long time, and it was upstairs. And I went up to use the bathroom in their house, and the Big Mouth Billy Bass came alive and like started singing to me, but it was so low on battery that it just started singing like in a discordant like devil voice. Like it weirdly worsened when the fish like pointed and looked at me, as it like is wont to do. It comes off the wall and like leans out, and it would get slower when that happened, and then go back to like wiggling happily on the wall like Big Mouth Billy Bass does. But he was just delivering me a satanic message from beyond the pale.
Oh, that is terrifying. I am picturing locked eyes with you.
Oh yeah, it was very scary. I was old enough at the time that it didn't like send me into a crying panic. I
good.
think I was like 15 or whatever, and I was like, whoa, that's very weird, but kind of cool. It'll make for a good story later. But yeah. But yeah, that's my Big Mouth Billy Bass story. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just low on battery and screeching devil words at me.
Oh.
Yeah. Sweet. Completely forgot what I was talking about.
Space Jam.
That's right. Yeah. Wayne Knight appears here in the Toon World and he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to help out, but he just gets benched immediately because he can't play. And yeah, what else happens? This is where we get the news report about the basketball courts and the NBA shutting down all across America. Insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're up to the game now. This is the Space Jam is about to happen, Gareth.
Yeah.
People are excited. The crowd is packed into the Toon Squad Stadium, and they gear up. They're all getting ready, putting on their war paint and stuff. It's hype.
There's so many amazing cameos in this for the crowd, like of every Looney Tune who wasn't considered good enough to be like a star. And I don't know how you feel about having to wait 48 minutes into a Looney Tunes film to see Michigan J Frog. Michigan J Frog.
Is that the hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gal frog?
That is the hello my baby, hello my darling, hello my ragtime gal frog.
That's excellent.
He's driving a little car.
Gareth. I'm a big fan of that frog.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see him here in the crowd enjoying the basketball. He's a fellow jumper, so he can appreciate it.
Right?
Love it.
He would have been perfect for the team.
Right? Get him on
I think
there.
the thing is he's just shy. Wasn't
Aw.
that his whole deal?
Yeah, bashful boy.
Yeah. He wouldn't sing in front of anyone else.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
Love him. He's just he's
Anyway.
too nervous about shooting hoops next to a talented jumper like Michael Jordan. Anyway, we get some...
Once everyone goes home, he dunks like no one's business.
Absolutely, yes. Big frog dunks. Yeah, so we get some hype as fuck intros of the starting lineup from the little like mouse characters who I don't recall either really, these guys.
No.
But yeah, they introduced the starting lineup for the Toon Squad here. We've got Taz, we've got Lola, we've got Daffy Duck, who comes out to absolute silence. By the way, like feels like we're midway through a recording of Pink Floyd, and there's just silence between albums. We just hear the heartbeats of the crowd.
I thought you meant, sorry. I thought you meant we're midway through a recording of Pink Floyd when there's just silence after our own jokes.
Accurate, yeah. There you go. But yeah, no. Between the album, when I'm deep in the sink, basically, is what I was referring to.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, we get the on the run crash here, and that's when Bugs erupts out of the floor of the echo of this on the run crash is when he bursts out and makes his appearance because he's a little burrowing rabbit, I guess. Does damage to the basketball court, but that's all right. It's fine. It's cartoon world. And then we get Michael Jordan just before all the clocks start ticking in as well, and they huddle up before the game, getting ready, and Michael's like, "Let's just have fun. Let's go out there and have fun." And I'm like, Michael, the stakes are really high. The Looney Tunes...
They're not high for you yet, but for these guys.
For these guys, they're really high. You're telling them to have fun, but these guys face enslavement if they lose this one basketball game. So, let's go out there and have fun. But yeah, the clocks go off as we get the Monstars rolling in, and we've got Marvin the Martian, I think, acting as referee, which is pretty good. With I think a human referee is also here. I'm not sure about that. Maybe
I believe so, but you mostly see Marvin. And I'll say, love the guy. Love Marvin the Martian. One of my faves. Love
I think
his
he's
big
great.
shoes. Love the fact he got called out in Clueless.
Yeah.
Terrible at refereeing. The stuff these guys are going to get away with is
mate.
disgusting.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Two people fire guns in the courtroom, on the court.
That's right. Yeah, it's a different rules, man. This is the Space Jam rules of basketball. Not often used in the modern day, but very common and popular down here on the first level of hell in the Toon Squad world, in the Looney Tunes world. This is just how they play ball down there, man. That's how they go. Yeah. That's Marvin knows what's up. He's doing the best he can. He's not just reading a magazine. He's just like, this is all regulation, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's probably like WWE rules, and there's someone distracting him at every point. Like how you could show the referee like a cool magazine, and then while that's happening, fire a gun.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like, well, I was distracted. It doesn't matter. Like, if he didn't see it and he didn't call it, then it doesn't count. It doesn't matter that man is now in two halves. It's fine. Anyway, the Monstars just start absolutely running away with it, like winning the game to the point where the scoreboard flips over and says, "Kind of one-sided, isn't it?" To 18 points, which is one. That's a good gag. I like that a lot. And yeah, that's when we reach halftime. Before this, we get like a bunch of like fun zany stuff. All the tunes doing their thing, but they're basically getting creamed right now. And Michael's is like, "We're having fun. It's fine." Anyway, the tunes are like resigning themselves to their imminent enslavement and failure. They're just like, well, I guess we're going to Moron Mountain. This sucks. And the aliens are all celebrating. And Wayne Knight hides in a locker in their locker room and he overhears the boss coming in and telling them, basically explaining the plan. Wayne Knight catches this and gets zapped by their blasters, but doesn't die because we're in Toon World, so he's fine. Just he gets like fried or whatever.
I will say he gets shorter of breath one day closer to death. Much like Pink Floyd sang at the
so
exact
true.
Moment.
That is a sync. Nice. So he goes in and tells the Toon Squad what he learned by snooping. And they're like, "Oh shit! So that's what happened. That's what happened to the boys, the friends, the basketballers in real life." But they're still like worried. All the tunes are like, "Well, we should just give up. It's over." And Michael gives an inspiring speech, but none of them pay attention, or they're just like, "It doesn't matter." And Bugs is
asleep.
Yeah. So like. That happens over the "thought I'd something more to say" line as well, which is, there you go. But Bugs does a very similar trick to how he tricked the aliens from earlier, and he does his thing where he writes a little note on something and puts it there and convinces everyone immediately to its authenticity, because he creates Michael's secret stuff, which is not the most innocuous name. It's a weird, like, it implies some stuff. I don't know. They're all drinking Michael's secret stuff, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
They'll take a big swig of Michael's secret stuff.
Yeah. And
something's not right.
Even Daffy comments on it. And he's like, "This goes against everything I've learned in my career in sports," or something to that effect.
Oh, health class.
And health class, that's it, yeah. He's just swigging down Michael's secret stuff. And they go out there and is it an allegory for doping in sports? Is it even something even weirder than that? It doesn't matter. It's Space Jam. But yeah, we're ready for the second half, and so are Pink Floyd, because we go into Great Gig in the Sky, and which is a good song, and it's It's already a different second half, Gareth. The tunes start clawing it back. They're using their zany skills and doing movie references in order to tie up the score. It's good. There's like a Pulp Fiction reference, which I totally didn't clock as a child, but
of course not.
I love now. And yeah, it's they crawl back to 68 to 62, and yeah, we get like a good sequence of Tweety Bird like beating the crap out of people as well, which is good, out of the monsters rather.
Again,
and yeah, anything goes.
This is happening in a basketball game.
Full violence.
Then again, like Bugs is riding a little scooter at one point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think someone gets like shot with a rocket. Like, there's all kinds of crazy shit happening. So yeah, that's just how it is. It's how they do. Yeah. So the boss calls a timeout because like this game is suddenly a real game.
Yeah.
And Michael raises the stakes by saying, the NBA players get their talent back if the Toon Squad win, but if the Monstars win, they get him. He willingly signs his freedom over on one baseball game to these aliens. The outcome of this will decide the future. He has a wife and kids. Yep. He's going to be enslaved in space. And that's how confident he is he can win this game, which is so good. That's Bulls era. that's Bulls era Michael there, man. Just balls to the wall. He's ready. He's going to sign his life away. It's brutal. Oh my God. We even see like a future, like a little cutaway where he's enslaved and he has to like lose all the time to the paying customers of Moron Mountain. That's like his fate or whatever, which isn't like honestly that bad, but he's still a slave. It's not good. But yeah, he'd probably be fine with it, like playing against little kids and letting them win. Like I think Michael Jordan would be like, yeah, it's kind of fine. He wouldn't mind. It'd be a cool story for the kid. You know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, in a less chained setting, so shall we say. But anyway, play resumes, and the Monstars no longer are holding back. They just they've seen the violence that the Toon Squad are capable of and start just like beating people up through their own acts of violence. Bugs saves Lola from a falling monster, and she gives him a big old kiss. This is kiss number 2 of 3 in the movie.
I will say, even though we've all got our problems with this plot, with how they... Anyway.
Yeah.
I felt the same feeling. When they smooched, I got chills. I felt the same feeling I had when I was like 8 years old and first developing crushes.
Whoa.
Like, I was like, yes, I feel it.
Okay.
This kiss.
You buy it.
Yeah.
You buy into the Bugs Lola love here.
Yeah. Just for that moment, it came back to me that I was like, oh, wow, as a child, this was the only fictional romance that would speak to me.
Speak to Me by Pink Floyd.
That's what that song's about. You look it up on rapgenius.com.
It's
just about Bugs Bunny and
Lola Bunny, and their pure love for one another. Yeah. That's what you don't hear in the like weird car horns and like wailing screams of Speak to Me.
It's just like Roger Waters speaking about, and then this girl bunny shows up and she's wearing little shorts and she's got hair, which they all have hair, but she's got hair, like human hair.
Yeah.
And, Bugs Bunny is really attracted to her. He turns like into metal looking at her, and then we forget about her for a while, but then he saves her from getting squished. Even though most characters at this point have got squished, he saves her from being squished, and then they smooch and breathe in the air.
Wow, I was transported. That's beautiful. That's the director's cut of Speak to Me. That 1 minute.
Yeah, I hope we're okay just playing Speak to Me in its entirety. Just then.
Yeah, probably fine. I think we'll be all right.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm willing to risk the copyright strike an hour and a half into the pod. Yeah. Yeah, so there's like, they just get absolutely destroyed here, like beaten up, but the score's still fairly tight as we get another timeout, this time on the Toon Squad side, and they assess the damage to the team. I particularly like Tweety Bird in the Acme Iron Lung. I just think that's a really funny image.
It's so bad.
It's really dark, but really funny. And yeah.
And this whole next scene, there's like a vulture covered in bandages, just like hanging out next to them.
Big ups to this vulture. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love Mummy Vulture. I wish he was his own character. Yeah, I like him. He tries to, Michael tries to reveal that his secret stuff was just water, but like no one cares. They're just like, you got any more of that secret stuff?
Yeah.
We're losing. We need it. And then Stan, Wayne Knight's character, is praying to get put on the team because he's been sitting on the bench this whole time. Everyone else is in a state of disarray, and he gets put in. He immediately gets flattened like a pancake under all of the Monstars, in a very upsetting image. But he does manage to sneak in a 3. Before like getting decimated. I'm very happy about that. Some hospital dogs, first aid dogs come out.
Yeah, of course.
And,
those beloved characters.
Yeah, the hospital dogs. They inflate him with a hose so that he's a big Violet Beauregard balloon and made out of awful CGI. A big balloon CGI Wayne Knight flying around the room and making fart noises is part of this movie. And there you go. There he is.
And it syncs really nicely with the saxophones and Money by Pink Floyd.
Does
That's the worst part. Yeah, I think so.
You would say that it is intended by Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting call. I don't know if I fully agree, but I will defer to you as a fellow member of the Pink Floyd podcast. I trust your judgment. Yeah.
You don't think so? I reckon they didn't even use the saxophone for that scene. I reckon they inflated one of the band members and just let him go.
That solo's just a man flying around the room, and he just happened to have a saxophone in his mouth.
Yeah.
There you go. It makes sense. That's how they recorded that. Oh, so good. Yeah. This is only at this point does Michael Jordan clock that this is the cartoon world and cartoon things can happen to people. Here, he's like, I thought it was just the tunes. It was just the Looney Tunes that could do cartoony stuff. He's like, nah, people too. If you're down here, that's how it goes. Anyone can do anything. And we're talking squash and stretch, baby. Like all the classic animation rules apply.
Yeah.
Make it zany. Make it exciting. And so, here's the situation. We've got 10 seconds on the clock in the fourth, and it's 78-77. Monstars have the ball. We need one dunk to close it out, and we need a 5th team member stat, because otherwise Marvin the Martian has informed us that we forfeit the game. Enter hero Bill Murray. Here, 10 seconds on the clock to save the day in full Toon Squad gear. How has he got here? Who cares? Here he is.
Well, the movie cares a lot. They put in a lot of effort to do this joke about how a producer's a friend of his and a Teamster dropped him off, which no kid is laughing at.
No.
But,
I think that's like a call out to the movie of how they got Bill Murray in this movie as well. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's a meta joke about like how he's involved. Yeah. Wild. Oh my god. I do love that the big boss guy, the alien boss, confuses him for Dan Aykroyd, his Ghostbusters co-star, which is good. But he's here to assist. He's the 5th member for the final play of the Toon Squad game.
Why not? Honestly, this would have been like if I was a parent taking my kids to this, I would have just been like, "Yup,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Why not?"
There he is. None of my
Yeah.
kids understand who Bill Murray is, but fine.
You see, kids, he was in What About Bob? Kids-
Shut up,
are like,
Mum. There's 10
"Yay."
seconds on the clock. I'm trying to watch. Yeah. But yeah, he's got like a full play planned, but they're on defense, and so that gets shut down for Michael's plan. His plan sucks. It's just like, get me the ball, I'll do the rest. That's his whole plan, and probably was his plan for this whole game, honestly, going in. But yeah. Over this, so play starts. Over this like 5 seconds, ball changes hands in like 5 times in 5 seconds on the clock. It's ridiculous. However, for the remaining 5 seconds of this play, it's just Michael flying through the air in slow motion, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, it's very good. And he extends his arm out with the cartoon power, and gets a 2. Does this count as a 2 or a 3? I don't know, because he's probably like outside the free throw line. His body is, but his arm's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you
I was wondering
score
that, 'cause
this?
then, I
Is
think
it-
if it was a 3, I was gonna complain, but then it was a 2, so it's
I'm
like-
pretty sure it's a 2, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I'd be inclined for it to go like 2.5, and for that to be like a joke for people that like understand basketball.
Or could have been like, I don't know, 2.5.
Is good, but yeah, he on the buzzer beater like wins the game for the squad. Great job, Michael. Love it. Bill gets complimented on doing like a good pass, and he's like, "Thanks, man, but I'm gonna retire from basketball. Retire champion. 10 seconds on the court, winning game, pass the ball once, retire champion forever." It's such a power
That's like
move.
me in beer pong.
Yeah.
I helped out with one beer pong game in 2012. I finished the game for them with my only throw, walked out, and they've never played since.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You retire champion. That's the move.
Yeah.
Just so much, just fanfare and critical acclaim. You're like, remember
Which is
when...
why this podcast has never ended.
Yeah. There's going to be a guest host that's going to come in and like be our most successful episode ever, and then they're just going to leave and never speak to either of us ever again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Reach out if you want to do that.
Yeah. If you just want to like do our podcast but way better, that'd be amazing. Oh.
They have to come in as a guest only in the last 10 seconds.
Yes. And they just deliver one joke that just kills. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. But everyone talks about it. Like, man, do you hear that one episode of Pink Floyd? They just said this most awesome thing. It was so good. They were in the room for the whole episode, but they only said one thing right at the end. But fuck, it slayed me. So good. So yeah, Us and Them is starting up as the aliens have lost, but they realize that they don't have to take their boss's crap anymore. And so, because they're big monsters, and they strap him to a rocket and send him up to the moon, which is underground here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it painted on to the wall? I don't know what's happening with the moon.
Oh, wait, yeah, hold on.
Because they're underground, they're within the surface of the Earth at the moment, right? They're under the mantle, right?
Yeah.
So what?
Well, there is...
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god, so
that they can
under
see
the
moon.
Earth there must be a secondary space where Marvin the Martian's from. He's from the Mars of under the Earth.
Ah, right, true.
So there's probably an entire universe of Elysium where the Looney Tunes live.
Yeah. That has its
gosh.
own space and planets and things and other
So if Danny
celestial bodies.
DeVito survives this, he is now trapped in on an unknown planet in a completely different realm within a different planet.
It's a whole different layer of space as well, because when we were seeing their Moron Mountain, etc., that was of the space of Earth. That was like we were zooming up into space from Earth, from the surface. So this is a whole different world for him. He's trapped in the Toon world in space, which is like so many layers deep into obscurity.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
That's why we never
Talk about
see
a
him again
space
as
jam.
well. Like in the context of Warner Brothers, it's just gone forever. So yeah, the Monstars they return they return their powers to the basketball after a little coaxing, and then they want to stay here in the Toon world and hang out. And I guess they just are allowed to. They're just here as little alien boys. They don't want to go back.
Again, I don't think they've shown up in any other Looney Tunes stuff since.
No, I don't think so. They just got cut immediately, basically, after this. But that's fine. Like, no one was going to watch a show about these guys probably anyway. Now that they're little gremlins. If they could still turn into big ballers, then I'd be into it. But probably can't. Yeah.
No, unless they've got a deal with Charles Barkley that they keep, borrowing his skills.
He's just part of it the whole time. It's just the 5 aliens and Charles Barkley, the show.
Green light that.
Yeah, get it on there. Then he's like, I want my own Space Jam. Yeah, but of course Michael Jordan has a baseball game that he's got to get to. Now that he's won this basketball game, he's got to go play baseball for hours or however long baseball takes. And yeah, that's in 5 minutes. And so he's like, all right, bye everyone. And Bugs kisses Lola again. They have a third kiss, and she's like, hell yeah, and then pulls down the screen as a screen transition, which is very weird. But yeah, everyone is hanging out at the baseball game, wondering where Michael is. They're like, I think they're chanting for him to come, and then he appears in a spaceship, lands there, and is introduced over megaphone by Wayne Knight, which is just wonderful. It's just so good. Like, what an entrance to a game of baseball. Like, the most slow sport. Oh, it's so good. Everyone is fucking loving it. From here, presumably he plays a whole game of baseball and, is still probably not great. But whatever. He goes and visits the weakened basketballers, is what I've written on my notes, which I very much like. They're all hanging out together at the court, missing what they had. And Michael Jordan and Wayne Knight come in and return their powers through the magical ball. And he says, one of them says that the ball looks like something from Star Trek, which I like a lot. And if you don't touch Michael's ball, you're going to walk around with bad game for the rest of your career, Gareth. That's just the rules of basketball, I think. You got to touch his ball. Yeah, they get their skills back.
The scene of them being scared to touch the ball goes for so long as well.
It's really long. It's the final scene of the movie, but it goes for longer than anything else. Oh, I don't know why. They're just hanging out. They get their skills back and prove it and do some good moves. And they're like, "Oh, I can't stay for a bit of 3-on-3, Michael." And he's like, "Actually, I'm not done. I'm rejoining the NBA." And we see Bill Murray and Larry Bird, who are courtside watching, and yeah, he's like, Bill Murray has retired champion, but still, he's like, that could have been me, man. Larry Bird's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's so good. And yeah, we might see Michael still has it. He does a sweet dunk, and we freeze frame and go to credits.
Yeah.
over
A
like
freeze frame that comes out of nowhere when you're listening to
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, by the way.
it's so weird. We're just like listening to like Us and Them, which is like I guess fine for the credits, but I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah. What did you think? How did it sync?
What did I think and how did it sync? Well, an important thing about how I thought and how it sort is that it has now been 4 days since you initially asked me that question.
It's true. We've ruminated on it
Yeah.
accidentally.
We had some very bad computer issues.
Yeah, that's on
I
me.
did a full dramatic monologue about what I thought and how it sort.
Yeah,
What I thunk and how it sunk.
I heard
And-
none of it.
Yeah.
I bet it was
And then
good
I
though.
try. Oh, thank you. To be honest, to sum up my dramatic monologue, the idea was there were syncs.
Yes.
There's been a lot of syncs, but this film, there's been a lot of like just dry synkless deserts, and it's because this film is essentially 3 films in one. So I'm wondering, do we have to rate how each film within this film synced, and then play off against those?
Maybe. I like having a rating for each quarter as if it were a basketball game. Maybe like
Yeah. Okay.
Well, even though like the basketball game in this instance is sort of divided into halves for no real reason, but in Space Jam, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a real game of 2 halves on Space Jam.
Full credit to the boys.
Yeah. So do you want to do that, or it sounds like a lot of work, but
Yeah, that's true. Although that's pretty in time with like basketball. Basketball used to be so much fun for me to watch.
Yeah.
And then I got into got into friends. I got friends who were more into basketball, and they just loved the statistics and the maths, and I just couldn't get back into basketball after that.
man.
Once I realized I was supposed to be paying attention to numbers,
Now-
so I
and now you make
quit
a
that and
podcast.
found a way.
Now you make a podcast with a graphing involved every week.
Yeah, I found a way to add numbers to my other 2 favorite things:
Oh,
music
no.
and movies.
Whoops. Never mind. That's my influence, I think. My commerce major circling in the remnants of my mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
That's all right. So, okay, in this quarter, we've got Michael Jordan
Yep.
sinking very well. I'm giving Michael Jordan himself, like,
We could
you know,
rate, like-
slow motion dunks,
Yeah?
full
Yeah.
sync. The
Love
fact
him.
that he has a gambling problem makes him, money, us and them.
Yeah?
That's all full. Yeah, I'm giving Michael Jordan a 10 out of 10. What do you give the
Whoa.
Looney Tunes for their sing?
Okay, Looney Tunes, I'm feeling, like, they're like so zany and so hard to tie down that they aren't really matching the old Floyd,
Yeah.
right? They're like
Yeah.
constantly in an on the run sort of state. And while they probably were on screen for some parts of On the Run that I remember, I would say, it's not nearly as high as old MJ. I think
No.
they're like a 2 there. It's
Okay.
like they're bringing the side down. Yeah.
Okay, so we're balancing out at a 6.
Yeah.
Now, the Monstars.
Yeah.
What are they coming at?
Monstars in general, I feel like they're from space. They'll probably vibe with
Yeah.
the Floyd a bit more, right? Like more so they're still zany, but they're like more relaxed within their tiny non-baller form,
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be into the Floyd on their off hours. And like and when they're balling, like they're all about that money, that success,
Yeah.
They got that going for them. So I feel like 6 to 7, 6.5 maybe for Monstars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm very excited to see what this final person will be.
And of course, Wayne Knight. How's he syncing up for us?
It was a toss-up in my mind between Wayne Knight and Bill Murray.
Yeah.
So yeah, good.
We've definitely done
good
the Bill
shout.
Murray research.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight. I feel like Wayne Knight on his own gets 11 out of 10. I feel like he's living the dark side of the moon. His life is the dark side of the moon, I think. Just all aspects of it.
Yeah.
there's when the Wayne Knight biopic comes out, it's just going to be Dark Side of the Moon as the soundtrack, and that's a guarantee.
But like out of order, so we can't sync it properly.
Yeah, definitely.
Wayne Knight plays by no one's rules.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't say the magic word, and that's why we can't like deal with it. Yeah.
Very good Wayne Knight reference.
Hey.
Well, okay, so I've added up those and divided it by 4.
Yeah.
So, because, maths has invaded everything.
Yeah. 10, 11.
Space Jam has come out at a 6.875.
I like that. That's very good. I like the specificity of that rating a lot.
Yeah.
Plot it. Chuck it in the graph. Makes our axes look wild. I'm into it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good. Very good.
Good.
What's the next podcast business we're taking care of, Gareth?
Well, you think we've really dug into this definitive cinematic voice of Space Jam. Like, no one's asking us to talk any more about Space Jam.
You're right.
Which is why we have to honor Space Jam by syncing its unwanted sequel.
We should do what nobody wants and follow up the beloved classic ?
Of this
episode with another unwanted classic that's ready to hit your eardrums with full force.
So this is going to be our most relevant film in that it hasn't, as of recording, hasn't come out yet. As of this release, hasn't come out yet. So maybe the episode will be a bit late. Who's to say?
Yeah, if not, there might be another episode filling the void in the meantime. But we'll see how our scheduling lines up. We're going to try our best, listeners.
Oh yeah,
we're doing this for you.
Odds are going to see Space Jam in a cinema at like 10 a.m. on a Saturday or something to try to do this
with headphones in, baby.
Yeah, iPod Classic ready to go.
Oh, can't wait! Amazing. Everyone's like, "No, turn off your phones in the cinema now," and Gareth's like shiftily looking around, like, "Oh no,
they didn't say iPod."
Perfect. All right. Cool.
Oh gosh. Until then, I've been Gareth Blackler.
I've been James Barron.
Cool. Check out Pink Floyd on all your favourite social medias.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the dark side of the tune.
Come on, it's lad, and welcome to the jam.